The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that a series of tragedies are about to engulf Hope's world as she faces two devastating shocks. The man who was once the love of her life, Liam, is dying from an inoperable brain tumor, while their young daughter, Beth, has been diagnosed with a serious heart condition and needs an emergency heart transplant to survive. The coming months will be traumatic for Hope, as she is forced to stand on the thin line between life and death for the two people she loves most. Unsettling feelings as Hope begins to notice something is wrong with Liam. Hope has grown accustomed to Liam being away since their relationship fell apart, but that doesn't mean they've completely cut off contact. As co-parents of Beth, the two still regularly exchange text messages about their daughter or things that need to be coordinated. So when Liam suddenly went silent, not responding to any messages for several days, a feeling of unease began to creep into Hope's mind. Unable to bear the simmering anxiety, Hope sought out her father Deacon to confide in. She shared that this attitude was not like Liam at all. No matter how angry or conflicted they were, Liam was always a responsible father, a man who never stayed silent when Beth needed him. Deacon, who understood the instincts of a father, could not deny that something very serious was happening. When the truth was revealed, the brain tumor and the death sentence hanging over Liam's head after many attempts to contact, Hope finally learned the cruel truth. Liam was suffering from a dangerous disease, a brain tumor growing in a place where doctors could not intervene surgically. This bad news almost broke Hope. Even though they were no longer husband and wife, Liam was still the father of her child, a part of her memories, her heart, and her family. Hope was heartbroken not only because she was afraid of losing Liam, but also because he was alone in this battle. He did not tell anyone, even hiding it from those closest to him, trying to fight in silence. That made Hope feel betrayed, but at the same time it hurt her because she knew that Liam did not want anyone to worry, did not want to be a burden when facing death. Second blow. Baby Beth collapsed at school, and shocking news about heart disease. While still reeling from the news of Liam's illness, Hope was shocked for the second time in a short period of time. Baby Beth, the little girl she and Liam raised together, collapsed during class at school. Teachers immediately called Hope, and she arrived at school in a state of extreme panic. Beth complained of having difficulty breathing frequently in recent days, but Hope never thought that it could be a sign of such a serious illness. At the hospital, after a series of emergency tests, Hope received a horrifying conclusion from the doctor. Beth had an undetected congenital heart disease, and her current condition was critical. She needed a heart transplant as soon as possible if she wanted to live. Hope completely collapsed, the burden of a mother and a woman torn apart. In one day, Hope lost two of the most important supports in her life. Liam, her companion who was once her deepest love, was gradually losing his life every minute and hour, and Beth, the little creature she fought to save when she was kidnapped years ago, could now be taken away again by the hands of death. Hope almost collapsed. She didn't know where to find a suitable heart in such a short time, nor how to stay calm in front of little Beth, who still didn't understand the severity of the disease. As a mother, she had to be strong. But as a human, Hope was completely torn between how to save her child, while the child's father was also dying. When Liam learned the truth, the feeling of helplessness tormented a father. News of Beth's illness finally reached Liam. And that was when the man who was struggling with himself completely collapsed. Liam, despite having a tumor in his head that caused him pain every day, still loved his daughter more than anything. When he heard that Beth needed an emergency heart transplant, Liam immediately asked the doctors if he could donate his heart to his daughter. But that was impossible because his illness not only affected his nervous system, but also his entire body, including his heart. Liam understood that there was nothing he could do. He, a father, could only lie helplessly on the hospital bed, while his daughter was also fighting for her life every hour. That feeling of helplessness suffocated Liam's soul, and deep down, he knew that the time for both him and his daughter was counting down. The death knell and the faint ray of hope, the whole hospital seemed to be immersed in a gloomy atmosphere. Doctors are rushing to find a suitable heart for Beth, but the success rate is very low. At the same time, Liam's condition is getting worse. He begins to show signs of mild seizures, loses the ability to communicate clearly, and his vision is getting blurry. Hope witnesses it all and can only cry in despair. However, in the darkest moments, sometimes light can still glimmer. An anonymous donor is being identified as a match for Beth. But will that heart arrive in time? And will Hope have to make the most heartbreaking decision of her life when she has to choose between saving her daughter and letting go of the person who used to be everything to her? Conclusion: standing on the line between life and death, what will Hope do? The bold and the beautiful spoilers emphasize that the next series of episodes will take viewers into a whirlwind of emotions with no way out. When life is only a matter of hours, when the pain of a mother overlaps with the pain of a woman she once loved passionately, will Hope stand up or fall? What choice will be made? And does magic really exist? All will be revealed in tear-jerking episodes where love, sacrifice, and maternal instinct will be pushed to the extreme. Prepare yourself, because this will be the biggest bell to the turning point of no return in The Bold and the Beautiful. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that an unexpected, haunting decision is about to shake the entire world of the characters in the show. Liam, a man who has lost his way in love but never lost his responsibility as a father, will reach the end of his life with a heroic act, giving his heart to save the life of his biological daughter, baby Beth. This is not only a shocking decision, but also one of the most touching moments ever built in the history of The Bold and the Beautiful. Desperation reaches its peak. Beth needs a heart to survive Liam, and Hope's little girl Beth has been diagnosed with a serious heart condition, and the condition is getting worse. After fainting at school, Beth is rushed to the hospital and undergoes a series of tests. The final conclusion shocks the whole family. She needs an emergency heart transplant if she is to survive. From then on, all the efforts of Hope and her relatives begin to focus on finding a suitable heart in the shortest time possible. Emergency calls, organ donor waiting lists, even personal contacts are used. However, the heart that Beth needs is too rare, and each day that passes is a countdown to death. Liam faces the truth that he has no time left while everyone is struggling with the fear of losing Beth. Liam is also silently battling his own devastating illness, an inoperable brain tumor. The doctors have made it clear he doesn't have much time left. The tumor was growing rapidly, affecting his nervous system, and would soon take away all his vital functions. Liam knew that he was living his last days, and he did not want to die in vain. Liam was no hero, but in that decisive moment, he thought of his daughter. Beth was everything to him, and if he could leave this world by giving her life, it would be the ultimate salvation. He decided to donate his heart to Beth. Giving his heart to his child also meant saying goodbye forever. Liam understood the consequences and also knew for sure that everyone, especially Hope, would strongly object. She would never agree to let him die in place of her daughter. She would find every way to stop him. But Liam was mentally prepared. With a rare moment of clarity amid severe headaches, he quietly prepared the organ donation papers, talked privately with the doctor, and left a farewell letter for Beth, the only thing she would keep when she grew up. When everyone discovered Liam's intention, it was too late. Steffi, who used to be his deep love, cried in panic, begging him to reconsider. Bill, the powerful father who loved his child with all his heart, completely collapsed. And Hope, in tears and pain, both wanted to keep him, but also understood that he was doing the only thing he could do for Beth. The fateful day of surgery began a life, ended a life. The day of surgery was also the day Liam left this world. In a closed room at the hospital, Liam lay still, gently, as if sleeping. Doctors removed his heart under strict control. His heart was transferred to the operating room where Beth was waiting for each beat, a symbol of love, of sacrifice, of deep fatherly love. While Hope held her little daughter on the hospital bed, trying not to cry, Steffi stood outside the operating room window, her arms holding Bill, who could not speak. The whole hospital was immersed in a suffocating solemnity. Liam's death was an unfillable loss. Liam Spencer had passed away. A father, a son, a man who had made mistakes but always tried to fix them. He did not die in an accident, not out of hatred, but died in the choice to give life to the girl he loved the most. Liam's death was not just a personal loss. It left a big void in the hearts of his loved ones and fans. From Ridge to Brooke to Thomas to Zoe, everyone is affected by the shock. Each reacts differently, but the common thread is regret and gratitude. Beth's resurrection and the legacy of fatherly love. The surgery was a success. Liam's heart beats in Beth's small chest, each beat like a silent message. Daddy is always with you. She will never know the feeling of holding her father's hand for the last time, but in every step, every laugh, she carries a part of Liam's soul. Hope knows that she will have to be stronger than ever to nurture Beth, not only with the love of a mother, but also with the memory of the man who sacrificed everything for his daughter. A tearful and glorious ending for Liam Spencer the Bold, and the beautiful spoilers confirm that Liam's death will be one of the most shocking milestones in the history of the show. Not because the departure was unexpected, but because it was decided by the unconditional love of a father. In the world of rivalry, intrigue, and twisted love on the bold and the beautiful, Liam's story will forever be remembered as a symbol of ultimate sacrifice. There is nothing more painful than losing someone you love, but there is also nothing more noble than when that person chooses to let go and give life to someone else. Goodbye, Liam. He is gone, but his heart, both literally and figuratively, will forever beat on the bold and the beautiful.